Hey guys, Dustin Troyan here. I'm at Valley Indoor RV Storage in Chatsworth and dropping off my 56 Bel Air. I thought I'd share the car with you and the story of it. This is where I keep my cars. Great indoor storage facility. I've been keeping my cars here basically since they opened. So if you need a place to store, best value, best service, professional storage. So there's the plug for them because they're great folks over here. This car I bought about 12 years ago. 56 Bel Air, 2-door post, 383 little hot rod. I'd say it's a 10-foot car. And the story with this one is that I had put on an event and the caterer said to me, you know, I've never seen a car show the way your car show went down. You know, it was like a flash mob of cars. We did a lot of good that day. He says, I'm a car guy. I've got a 68 Camaro big black car. I've got a 56 Bel Air. And I told him, well, I'm a Camaro guy, so tell me about the Camaro. And he says, it's been sitting in my backyard for 14 years and it hasn't started. So for about 10 years, I called him, I don't know, every 6 months, hey, sell me the Camaro, sell me the Camaro, sell me the Camaro. And he'd always say no. So I called him one day, his name was Tom, great guy. I said, hey Tom, why don't you sell me that Camaro? And he says, you know, I'm gonna retire, move out of state, come get it. So I went to his place and I brought a battery, I bought some fuel, I brought a hammer, and I added the jumper box, the battery, added the fuel, and banged on the starter of the Camaro. It was a 496 big block, nitrous plate, Van Nuys Boulevard drag car. So we negotiated on that car, and I bought it. And I said, well, don't you have some other car? And he said, well, that's a nice car, and you can't afford that one. I said, well, you're probably right, but let me take a look at it. So this car was sitting in his garage. It hadn't moved in about 15 years. And he was very proud of this car. And I said to him, well, will it start? And he goes, I don't know. So I pulled the battery, added some fuel, and put some fuel in the carburetor, and it cranked, but it wouldn't start. So I knew the motor was good. And I said, you know, Tom, my dad's dream car was a Bel Air. And my dad was in an orphanage back east in Detroit, outside of Detroit. He was never adopted. And when he turned 18, his mother found him and said, I'm your mom, come stay with me. And he had a stepdad. And my dad saved his money and he said to the stepdad, will you help me? Will you co-sign for a Bel Air? And the guy said, you're never gonna have a nicer car than me. He wasn't a nice man. And my dad's the greatest man I've ever met, God rest his soul. So when the gentleman showed me the car in the garage and I saw this, immediately I thought of my father, and I had to buy it. And I said to the gentleman who was selling it, I said, you know, we're friends here. You sold me the one car, let's do a 2-car deal. He says, you can't afford it. And I said, you know, I've got a little money in my savings, and here's the challenge. It was my father's dream car, and he's still alive. And when in my life am I again gonna have this barn find, a 56 2-door Bel Air Hot Rod with a 383 sitting in front of me that hasn't moved in, I don't know, 10, 15 years. And he says to me, I said, Tom, his name was Tom. I said, you know what, Tom, here's the deal. And I just had my first kid, Scarlett. I said, 5-6 years from now, I don't want to see this car drive by me. I'm holding her hand, the car drives by, and I say to her, you know, honey, I had a chance to buy a Bel Air, but I was too afraid to do it. I said, Tom, if you sell it to me for a fair price, I can always get my money out of it. And he says, you know what, kid, you're right. He said, a long time ago, I went to look at a 69 Z28 4-speed car. I was negotiating with the guy, and then I said, let me think about it. Let me go eat lunch and I'll come back. He says, when I came back, the car was gone. I never forgave myself. So I trailered this home, called AAA, trailered it home, put it in the garage, and I called my mom and dad. I said, you got to come over. And my dad didn't walk too good. His health wasn't that good. And the garage was an absolute mess. And he climbed all around the garage into this car. And he was so excited for me to have this car. So this car makes me think of my dad. It's got a disc changer in there, so I've got all 50s and 60s music in there. And that's the story on my Bel Air. So I'm very sentimental with my cars. This one, unfortunately, I've been so busy, it's been sitting at Valley Indoor RV storage. So I pulled it out, brought it home. The diaphragm on the carburetor was leaking, so I changed that real quick. And my daughter said, "Daddy, Daddy," and they love this car. "Daddy, can we take it to a 50s diner?" So they found a 50s diner in Simi Valley. We went down there, ate at a 50s cafe, and brought it home. And I'm gonna put it back into storage. I really want to change the wheels, but I'm probably not going to. And you know, I'd love for the car to be perfect, but that's not in the works right now. But it's a great car. Wherever you go when you drive a Bel Air, it's really interesting. When you drive a Tri-5, it's quintessential Americana. I mean, thumbs up, high fives, waves. Everybody loves a Bel Air. Everybody smiles. The color combo's great. I'm not really a red maroon, but this car, when the sun's on it and it's clean, just looks great. The good thing about being a driver, right, if it gets scratched or something, I'm not too worried about it. It's not a show car, but it's a nice car. I'd love to air ride it and put some 20s in the back and 18s in the front, but that'll come. I'd love to LS swap it, you know, do Art Morris and all that crazy stuff. But for right now, it's perfect. And that's the story on the Bel Air. So I've got a little time this week, so I'm gonna exercise all my cars. I'm gonna pull the 66 Mustang convertible. That was a barn find too, found it during COVID. And I'll tell you that story next. So I'm gonna let the team here know, let me in, go around the back, put this thing away, grab the other car. We'll do another video in a second. Like, subscribe, more to come, and let's all have a lot of fun doing things that we love. I'll see you later.